May profits be upon you. How you doing? I hope you had a great trading day today. I didn't have a great day. I had a slip in my discipline today and traded outside of my normal trading hours, and I paid for it. Slap my hands, shame on me. I'll fix it immediately and be ready for tomorrow. Okay, so what am I looking at? You saw my breakdown of the NZD futures in the futures weekly forecast, well, the outlook that I put out on Sunday, right? This is a carryover from that. Yeah, I'm looking at NZDUSD, and what am I looking at here? All right, what is the first thing you notice? Let's just let's just get rid of all of that. All right, what I notice, what you got to look at, what you got to see, my brother and sister. All right, what you got to see is we're making, lower lows and stuff. All right, but this is important. Right here, things get a little different. All right, we break that pivotal point of structure, and we have turned bullish here. All right, making a higher low and another higher high. All right, that's the first thing that jumps out of your head, out of my head anyway. All right, so we're looking at it on the 4 hour. Okay, so closer examination, come on, man, will show us that, yeah, on the 4 hour, if I can just get back to that, we're making higher highs, higher lows, all the way up, right? Even here. All right, we broke that high, took that liquidity, and what do we expect here? All right, not here. What do we expect from this point? We expect a higher low to make a higher high, because that's what we've been getting. All right, it's structural expectation. All right, I coined that phrase, structural expectation. What is that about? Anyway, I expect the next structure to be made is a higher low, which this looks like it is. And this doesn't become a higher low until it breaks that high. That is the top of the trading range. All right. This being the trading range. All right. Anything that happens in between here is substructure. Okay. In between that trading range. So what looks to be a higher low, I'm looking for price to make a higher high, breaking that high. So if we can get in somewhere to take price all the way up, man, that's what we need to do. All right, we got to catch a pullback, right? We don't want to catch it here, all right, just to have price pull back and we go into this drawdown hell. No. So what are we going to do? We're going to map out where the possible points that price could reverse from. All right, the POIs. Now, you see how price came here? This is what I do. All right, I said price here, pivoted here. Price only pivots or changes direction at order blocks, and fair value gaps, right? I'm coming all the way over here to the left. I'm going to see where we're at, and I'm going to see, oh, look at that. We are reacting to a 4 hour demand zone. I mean, supply zone, right? Boom. Let me get this right here. I'm going to mark it out like boom, right? It's good here. All right. Now, most of the time I take this whole range. Most of the time I take this whole range right here, where the up move begins and then the flush. But right here is where you see the volume come in and you see that push. All right, so that's why I'm emphasizing this one. Let me get that right. So I'm going to move this all the way over, right? This is a 4 hour. Now I need you to acknowledge there is this inefficient price movement here. We call it imbalance or a fair value gap. All right, price traded up into this fair value gap and then came further down, but there's some to fill in, and you like to see that there are points to grab liquidity and an imbalance leading into a zone of supply or demand. You like seeing that because that validates the order block, right? It validates this supply. Also, you want to see what did this order block accomplish? You know, did it break some lows? Yeah. Look at these lows over here to the left. Did it break structure? Yeah. All right. This is a pretty strong zone where there is potential for price to turn around on. And look, we touched it. Boom. Got it? You see where the logic is. You see where I'm at. All right. Now, let's move on over. What do we do from there? Let's see. What do we got on the bottom here? All right. Where could price pivot? Well, what we see is we have a chain of demand building, right? All right. We have this down move and then this powerful impulse to the upside, right? I'm going to mark this demand here, right? On the 4-hour because it's valid. Why? Because it broke that high. It broke the structural high. All right. This is pretty strong. This is a strong low, right? Because it made new higher highs. Okay. And what do we got over here? Aha. It came back to test this. There was imbalance leading up into price leading into it, right? And that's what you want to see. Again, that, you know, validates the order block. Okay. Now, what do we got here? You see price came into the touch the zone and fired right off. This is very interesting. Why? Because it broke these highs. Let's validate this order block, right? And this is the chain I was talking about. All right. I'll put the order block like so. You see price traded back into it to mitigate this order block. All right. So you see this sell, the sell to buy move, sell to buy wicks here on a lower time frame. These are very valid zones of supply and demand. If I put it there, you see how price came to it and pivoted right off of it. All right. Understand, we have bullish order flow going on. All right. So you'll see a touch and go when it's pro trend. All right. Now, so we got these zones here. We got these zones here. We got a nice little chain that we could, you know, put our eyes on and stuff. And we have a little chain here. All right. You know, to further the chain up. Now, there's some nuances here that I want you to pay close attention to. Okay. Let me go down to the 1 hour and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Now, what again is the higher time frame expectation? All right, that we're making a higher low to make a higher high, right? We've already taken out these highs, taken out the liquidity from these highs here. Boom. All right. Price is coming back. All right, into discount numbers, the discount levels are below the 50% of the trading range. All right, we're below the 50% of the trading range. And this is where you want to catch your longs from so that you can take a long position up into this zone of supply. All right. You see that big wick here? That tells you right there. There's some demand in there, and that's what price reacted to over here. Price now. This is the reason why I made this video. All right. You see how price reacted here? Took out the high, and here we come with the retracement, right? All right. We'll make this high. We make this pullback. We go down deeper. We make an even bigger pullback here, and then break that low. All right. Price does not break this low. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means this may be weak. All right. This high may be weak, and it should be a target for liquidity because it didn't break this low here. Weak highs and weak lows get targeted for liquidity. Keep that in mind. Okay, get out of here. All right. So so I'm definitely got my eye on the liquidity up here. All right, as a target for price. All right, that's one thing. And then what do we have here? What did we do here? There's, you see this displacement? All right, this lovely impulse here. That means it created a supply zone. Sorry, I was about to say demand. All right, I'm going to mark it here. And you're probably asking yourself, why am I marking it? Because, man, all right, the supply, we came back up, traded back up into this supply. This is the reaction. Okay, remember, if you look into my past videos, you'll tell you I'm always looking for failed zones of supply and demand. Why? Because that tells me who's in control. If supply is broken here by this impulse, this bullish impulse, then we know supply is not in control anymore. That's broken. All right. Who's taking over? Demand, of course. And where's that demand zone? We can mark it. Here's the bottom, here's the top, and we can mark it like so. All right. If we go to the 2 hour, we get a clearer view of it. You see? Just to take a peek, just for clarity's sake. And you'll notice that we have imbalance at this zone, right? We got some imbalance leading into this zone. That price could come, rebalance, and then mitigate this zone of demand. This is what we call, let's go back to the 1 hour. This is what we call a supply to demand flip, a supply to demand flip zone. This lets you know who's in control. Demand is in control. We just broke supply here. We also broke this supply here. All right. All right. But what you want to do is wait on the other side of this. All right. At the extreme of the most recent reaction, the extreme of the reaction, the most recent reaction to that supply. This is it. It formed the demand zone here. You know it's valid because it broke supply. That's like just a hallmark, man. Okay. I'm preaching this to you, man, because it's important. All right. And you wait here because price is going to end up coming back here. And this is a high probability long. Every one of them is not going to work, just like everything doesn't work every time in the doggone markets. But this one is high probability. You got to take this. All right. I take it every day and twice on Sunday if I could. Okay. So this is where I'm waiting. All right. I'm looking for price to come back here and give me something good. All right. And what is good? Well, we would take this, and I'm going to put it, instead of arrows, I'm going to use the tool. I would put it just like this, all the way up. I want to take out that high. I don't want price to come up into this zone, at least to the halfway mark. All right. It may go beyond, but this would be my my TP1 right there. All right. And that is how many pips away? Let me get that under here. How many pips away is it? 65. 65. That's going to be well worth it. All right. We wait because these are high probability trades. I always look for flips. All right. Especially when it's showing that this may be a higher low and we're on our way to making a higher price moves, thusly making higher highs and higher lows until we break that high. All right. This might be worth holding on to, honestly speaking. So there's that. But we want to see what happens when it gets here. What is my stop loss? 9.3 on a 1 hour trade, on a 1 hour trade. Now we can refine this, of course. We can refine this, of course. All right. But I'm not going to take you all into that right now. You know, I got to leave something for my guys at Lion Den Effects. All right. But as far as risk to reward, 7.23. I think this will be well worth it. The reason why I'm emphasizing this particular market is because we got Asia sneaking up on us. And I think this will be active during Asia session. Now, in the case that price dribbles down here and decides to break this zone, all right, it'll mess up my flip, of course, but that'll invalidate the trade, of course, and it'll hit stop loss. But what I want to see is bullish price action once price hits here, right here. I want to see some bullish price action. And depending on what your criteria is, you know, you'll look for that bullish price action on the lower time frame, 15 and 5, and enter in on the 1 like I do. But right here is where it's at. I'm going to leave an alert in place. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm not giving financial advice. You do understand that, right? I am not giving you financial advice at all. Why is that way up there? I don't understand how that got up there in the first place. All right, so I'm gonna leave it over here. What the heck, man? I really, God dog it. All right, let's try this again. All right, I'm gonna leave it over here by the imbalance, and so I can get heads up, and we're gonna have a nice trade, I think. You know, again, leave me a comment, leave me some feedback if you like the setup, if you think it'll work. I think it's pro trend, so I think there's a high probability chance that it should work out. We have a nice flip here from supply to demand, and we have imbalance going into this this zone, and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I love the break of structure to the upside. So you look for a return to impulse. All right. This, in that sense, I'll draw it here. Break of structure, return to impulse. The originating impulse is down here, folks. Just so that you know. All right. I'm hoping that price doesn't take it past here, because this is an unmitigated order block. All right. This is an unmitigated demand zone. So I'm hoping that we get just that. Okay. Ride with me, folks. Ride with me. You know, follow along if this agrees with your trading, your style, your analysis, or whatever. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not qualified to give financial advice. All right. I will see you in the next video. Please be sure to leave a like or subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.